Hi Cory, my name is Jenna, and I'm gonna do my best. I got your email, and I might do a couple of different videos because I might have like interruptions, um, and I'll just send them all to you, kind of in a rough format. I hope that's okay. So after I kind of tried to tap into you for just a second, just to kind of test the waters, I immediately found myself in a place that I'm about to um, go back to, and it was kind of a secret garden, tor- sort of place with lots of foliage and lots of shrubbery. So I'm gonna lock back into that place because I wanted to see if I was feeling it. Does that make sense? And I was. So I started the um, I started the video, and my flow won't be nearly as seamless as Abby's, but I'll give you as much information as I can. Sometimes my eyes will be open and sometimes closed. It um, it will vary based on how much I need to rid myself of the outer world stimulation. All right. So I immediately found myself in this secret garden type area with, it was very manicured, it was very pristine. There was a fog kind of settling in. Um, do you know those gardens in Europe that are so manicured, so shaped, where the foliage kind of creates a maze? And what what comes to mind is like Versailles outside of Paris, built by Louis the 14th. They with the fountains. I don't really see any fountains here. There's not a lot of flowers. There's not a lot of color, but it's beautiful and it's fresh, and the foliage is a deep soothing green with the misty fog kind of lingering at the top of the shrubbery. And it's cool, but also um, it's not cold, but it's kind of cool to touch your skin as you walk around. And the the path at your feet is kind of a really fine gravel that gives a little crunch as you take steps. And I get the sense of mystery. I get the sense of kind of not excitement, that's too strong a word. Mystery is better because you don't know what's around each corner. I also get the sense of monotony in a strange way, that in the way that mystery and monotony could go together. That sounds odd. Let me explain. All of the shrubbery looks the same. It's all very uniform. It's all the same color. There's no um, there's no pop in color. There's no accents or punctuated um, palettes of color spectrum. It's all very I would say monochromatic, I guess, if you want to put a word to it. But you get the sense that there's something around each corner that you turn. You get like kind of a welling anticipation. Each corner that you turn, in this maze, in this garden maze of monochromatic green and like tan gravel with the mist, and I feel like it's an early morning, or very early morning, time of day, so that it's just kind of like that time before, like in between the two worlds, the world of, night and dreaming and obscurity, and the day of solid forms. It's in that strange little limbo between. So I get the feeling of anticipation. I get the feeling of waiting, not just kind of waiting, but waiting with a purpose. Like something is about to present itself. I know something is about to present itself. I feel it like in my, that feeling when you're waiting for something to happen, and in this case I don't really know what it is, but I get the sense that you do. So I'm coming to a clearing, and at the other side of the clearing, it's a huge clearing, and it's all the same gravel path. It's all the same color of greenery, but it's in a huge square. It's like it's opened up into a plaza, a large plaza. It's all of a sudden open space when before it was a constricted maze. And at the other side of this plaza, I see, okay, it's butterflies. It is butterflies, and they are all gathered on a single object. They are all over it. Have you seen those pictures of the, I don't know what the butterflies are on, but they're almost like one being, one organism, because they are together on one object, and they're all kind of like moving in like a pulsated, rhythmic, with their wings. It's like a wave of consciousness that they exhibit together, and it's a beautiful sight to behold, like the contrast of these oranges and blues. It's every kind of butterfly that you can imagine. It's like they're all over this object that I can't even see what the object is underneath. I cannot see what they are so drawn to. But they're moving, and the fog is gone, and the sun is starting to shine in this place, and it's turning the greenery and the shrubbery like a brighter hue of green. But that's all like background, it's all landscape. It was like the only thing that I could see, but now, I mean, it's so obvious that this is the focal point, that, this is where we should be looking. And I get the feeling of divine, hold on. they told me about this. She said that when things start to get convoluted and a little bit crazy, and things flying at me too quickly at once, like that's probably the energy shifting. So to give it just a second to kind of resettle, it means we're like going deeper, hopefully into some meaning behind this scene. All right, so the butterflies are, it's very tempting for me to put out my hand and watch them all fly away at once. But then, like, I get the feeling that a divine presence is standing before me, a reverent force of nature, of love, of it's the creative spirit itself that I am witnessing right before me. And I don't want to exert my lesser form of like of not I mean, I am connected to the creative spirit, but this is something so much bigger that's like before me, that I almost feel as though I need to kneel and just experience this. And I also feel as if I want to be the statue that they are covering so completely. I want to like welcome them into I want to welcome that presence into me. And slowly, as winged creatures often do, one like springs off and starts to flutter around me, and as if to like play with me, and as if to like encourage me that that they're with me, that they see, it sees, they are many butterflies, but it is like one presence one glorious, beautiful, and just all-encompassing presence of warmth. And the sun is shining in like this, I mean, it's a sight to behold. Like these rays of sunlight, very spotlightish, are on this spot of, but I want to see the statue beneath. Like, why have they chosen this? Why is this the thing that they gravitate towards? But to shoo them away would be just awful. It would just be wrong. Like, you don't do that to this glorious presence of nature before you. You don't. That would be so beyond disrespectful and like an ugly act. It it it's they say they know without memorizing. They know without learning. They know from simply being one with each other, who and what they really are. I'm okay. There we go. This okay. So butterflies, I believe the monarch butterfly did they do this trip. You having an affinity to butterflies will probably know more about this, and I'd like you to clarify and um, your knowledge of this. But I believe the monarch butterflies travel from Mexico to Canada, or from Canada to Mexico. Like they have a great migration, and it's mind-boggling to us that they cannot they don't have like a huge brain the way humans do, right? They don't have really like memory or anything of that nature that we would think would be associated with such a long voyage. I mean, for us to be able to voyage so far, even now, like we would have to, get out either our maps or nowadays our phones, to map out the route and figure out the best way, and um, so that we wouldn't end up in the wrong place, because that's a really long way to go. But we would also be traveling with the the comforts and conveniences of like a car or hotel rooms where we're sheltered. I mean, these butterflies are out in, the thick of they're in nature. They are absolutely, I mean, from our perspective, like at the mercy of nature. But it's like that's the perspective that I'm being coaxed to shift here. It's not at the mercy of nature, it's at the grace of nature. I'm getting a real sense of that that is the focus that we need to shift within ourselves, of instead of looking at our surroundings as a challenge or an obstacle, like the maze was to finding what we're looking for. The journey itself is the empowerment that we need in order to make, this grand feat of our lives, like this whole purpose that we have for being here and what we're meant to do. I'm really getting that totem sense of, you said your affinity for butterflies, and so that's probably why they showed up. But it is a deeper meaning. It is a higher calling feeling I'm getting, like, and not just like the simplicity of, you know um, should I be in this relationship? Should I stay at this job? It's like the macroscopic worldview of what our purpose here is as individuals in the span of a lifetime, in the span of many of our lifetimes. Everything is concordant to scale. So our many lifetimes, right, comprise within all of those lifetimes, strung together, a deeper meaning, right? Something like a greater purpose that we are trying to fulfill, we are trying to embody and, bring ourselves fully into. And the metaphor of the butterfly traveling from, one from point A to point B with such great obstacles and challenges and threats of imminent death seemingly. But it's like that that's the way we see it. They enter into it knowing that they will arrive as one. Okay? They know that they will end up where they need to be because of the it's not the faith, that is a loaded word that I do not like. The it's the sense of knowing already who they are and what they are meant to be, that they are able to make such a voyage and to arrive and to have done so for so many generations, so beautifully, so it seemingly effortlessly. I mean, there were rainstorms, there were, you know, predators, and lots and lots of threats to the individuals, right? And some perished along the way, inevitably. But that is not the bigger picture, right? That's not really where the focus lies. And just seeing them all on that statue, it's like I want to, my human side, my fallible, not connected to source side, like my ego, I guess, really wants to see what that statue is. Like, wants to see why I want them to move so I can see, but it's like that's not even the point. That's, that's the lesson that we need to learn, that we need to understand. It's not, you know, what I need to see and understand about this beauty is right before my eyes already. It's right there. The statue doesn't matter. Even though I know it's some shape, I know it's something, it's some person, or but that one, if I shooed them away and then I saw it, it would be an empty gray statue that means nothing. The beauty is right before me. That's that's what I'm picking up on. And I hope this was meaningful. This was a really cool, really inspiring lesson for myself also. I feel like I could go further, but I'm kind of like tired from it. So I would like to revisit this place, the, this secret garden, so to speak, if you're okay with that, Cory. And I will send you another video later after you've reviewed this one, and you can give me feedback or not beforehand. Like, I feel like a firm footing, like a firm rooting here that I could return and see more. So, but I kind of need to decompress a little bit, like, because I feel a little foggy and a little hazy and a little tired, and Abby said that would happen too, especially in the beginning phases, which I absolutely am in the beginning phases. And so I'm going to try a little bit more either this evening or tomorrow, but I'm going to send you this in the meantime. And if you want to tell me what you think, that's cool. And if you want to wait until you can see more, that's cool too. Just shoot me an email whenever you get it, okay? All right.